Truman Talks Live on Great Day Live is sponsored by the Karl Truman Law Office.
Louisville is known as the River City. Hey, Karl Truman, good to see you. We're just cleaning up after the rabbits and chickens and turtles, and I'd shake your hand, but they're still soaked in Purell.
I can't compete with that.
Oh, dear goodness.
A lot of people here rely on river work to make a living.
What happens when crew and harbor workers get hurt on the job? Attorney Karl Truman says these cases are fairly common and often covered under the Jones Act and Longshore.
That's right. Since we're on the river and we get a lot of barge traffic, a lot of commercial on the river, you're going to see a lot of federal maritime claims that fall under what's called the Longshore and the Jones Act.
Tell us about what happens, how that's different from, say, a workers' compensation claim for someone working in an office.
It is very different than state workers' compensation. Of course, if you're injured in a normal job, then you fall under state comp. But if you're injured on the river, if you, let's say you work on a barge, as a deckhand on a barge, then you fall under the federal Jones Act, which is kind of similar to workers' comp in many ways, but it's very different. The damages and the recovery and the benefits are very different.
Now,
All right, go ahead, Nancy.
we're so in sync, it's just a bunny love. That's all that it was. What if a crew member dies or is injured? Does his family get compensation?
Yes, there is a recovery for the family, and again, it's very important because these fall under federal law, and so it's the benefits are very different. There's a lot of similarities with being able to having to provide medical care and some off-work benefit, but the procedures are different and the ultimate recovery is different. So if you're working as say a deckhand on a barge, that falls under the Jones Act. Where let's say if you're a harbor worker, where you work on land but you fix barges or repair boats or build barges, for example, at Jeff Boat over in Jeffersonville, they fall under the Longshore Act, where they're harbor workers.
So you're talking about thousands of people, and clearly there are injuries with some regularity there too. It's tough, rough, tough work.
It's a hazardous work, yeah.
And so these claims come up frequently?
Yeah, we see quite a bit of claims on the river, from, again, either from people who work on cleaning barges or clearing off barges or building barges or repairing vessels. Anything that involves a vessel, being a crew member or working on a vessel on a navigable waterway, can be covered under these laws.
All right, give us an idea of the steps a family member should take in order to start a process of trying to recover.
Well, in any type of claim, whether it's workers' compensation or even the Jones Act or Longshore, it's very important that the injured worker notify their superiors immediately that they got hurt. Because that's one of the common defenses that we see if someone gets hurt, but then, nobody wants to admit that they got hurt. They, want to say, oh, I'll just work it out, it'll be okay. And so the time goes on, and then later on they find out, yes, I really was hurt. And then that's a common defense that the company, their insurance company, will use to say, well, you didn't notify us right away. Right. So that's very important, to notify it and document it right away so they can't later say, well, you never told us. No
matter if it's a minor occurrence, it still should be noted with the company.
It still should be documented. Ships, if you're on a ship or vessel, they have logbooks, they have procedures to be followed to document injuries. So that's very important, to document it. And then just to promptly seek medical help, because if you don't go to the doctor and document, yes, that there is a problem, then again, the insurance company will use that and say, well, you didn't go to the doctor. We think you got hurt at home or doing something else.
Gotcha. Okay, Karl, thanks a bunch. Now, if Truman Talks Law every Wednesday here on Great Day Live, and you can reach Attorney Karl Truman at 222-2222. That's an easy number.
Easy number. You got that. Or you can also go online at trumanlaw.com.
Thanks, Karl.
Have you been injured in an accident?